Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel Software Testing. My name is Knott and I'm happy that you're here today. In today's video I'd like to talk about the following question: how to get into software testing. And this is actually a valid question that I got asked several times over the past years when talking to people outside the testing industry. For example, talking to my family, talking to software developers, or talking to anybody who I'm talking about my job. So they basically asked the question, how do you end up in software testing? And as I said, it's a valid question because I think the software testing industry has a big problem. And this is why. Because if you look at the current universities, even in 2022, there's not a major class called software testing or even like a whole track of classes that focus on the topic of software testing. Usually students, they get in a class, they have like an engineering class or a programming like class, they have like a side track or even some hours only that focus on software testing. And what students usually learn there is how to write unit tests, how to do some integration testing. In best case, they are going to see the software test pyramid. And that's it basically. And then they go on with their programming stuff, and testing is always like, nah, I don't like testing. You know, it's that stupid thing that one has to do and these kind of things. But that's actually, it's a problem, I would say, right? And basically the same thing happened to me back then in 2006 when I was in the university. I had my first programming classes and I was, yeah, it's okay to write Java, to write C code. I was comfortable with it, but I always had the feeling that this is not the right thing for me. I have never seen me in a position where I would be a developer, for example. And then I was kind of lucky because we had in one engineering class, we had 2-hour session of software testing. And basically when I saw the information, showed them the slides and talked to the professor afterwards, I was pretty much hooked because software testing back then for me was much more than just clicking around and finding some bugs and testing like a monkey, so to say, right? And I saw so many potential topics that I would like to cover, like talking to people, asking the right questions for the requirements, talking to developers, talking to other kind of stakeholders, at the same time being technical in writing test automation code, or even write some bugs and also to explore the product and to find the bad quality in it. So I was pretty much hooked. And so what did I do back then in 2006? Because, there was not that much of further education on the university. So what I did is I started to read some books, right? And back then one book that sticks to my mind was Lessons Learned in Software Testing by Cem Kainer, Marcus James Bach, and Brett Pettichord. And it was kind of a nice book that I really liked because it covered so many things on software testing, and I was okay, this is something I really would strive for. And even though back then in 2006, when I read the book, there were not too many really good on the market back then that I could recommend, but it changed over the last years. And now I'm jumping a bit forward because reading, I think it's essential for us as software testers. So I read some more books, and I think some of you have already seen those books as well. So there's a really nice book from Elizabeth Hendrickson called Explore It, where she covers like a lot of things about exploratory testing and how to uncover potential issues in a software. There's also the fantastic book by Katrina Clokey, Testing in DevOps. I think that's a really, really nice book that everyone should read out there, working with cloud architectures or working in DevOps. At the same time, I think that's also like the book when it comes to software testing these days. It's Agile Testing by Lisa Crispin and Janet Gregory, and also More Agile Testing and so forth. And there are lots of great books out there. And this is something that you should really strive for, when you would like to start in software testing. Start and read some books because they give you some really good foundation work and foundation knowledge that you can help in making a decision if you would like to end up in software testing or if you would like to stay, for example, in engineering. So how did my career start in software testing? As I said, I read the book 2006, and at the same time, I started as a working student at IBM. I was lucky to get the position there in an engineering department. And as you can see in the headline, I basically fell into software testing. And I think that's the same reason or the same cause for many other software testers out there, right? We just fell into software testing. And I'm now telling you why I fell into software testing back then. So as I said, I applied there for the position as in the engineering department because I just wanted to get some more experience in the real life software engineering department. And they were kind of a bit lost when they found me or they hired me, because they had no idea what to do with me, because as always, there was not enough time for students to onboard them. And so they had the feeling, okay, let's put him into testing. Don't break anything. He cannot write bad code that's going to the customer side and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, that's nice, because they didn't knew that I was actually interested in software testing. So I didn't say anything, and I just was really happy and said, okay, challenge accepted. Here is now finally it's my time where I can learn more about software testing, even though there were not that many people that teach me how to test the product in the right way. So I did a lot of exploratory testing, even though back then I didn't know the term that exploratory testing is a thing, but I just did what exploratory testing these days is all about, right? Writing down some notes, see what I can uncover in terms of software misbehaviors and stuff like that. And it was funny, because after some months I had talked to my director saying, hey, I'm in software testing now, I'm pretty happy. And they actually felt really bad, because they put me into software testing because they thought, he might be pissed, or he might be not happy because we put him into software testing, because many working students back then, or even now, they just want to become an engineer and want to be a programmer. But for me, it was the opposite. So that was basically my starting point when I fell into software testing. And yeah, I was so hooked with the topic that I was talking to my professor in 2008 to basically start my thesis on the topic of software testing. So he was also surprised that there was a student who was interested in the software testing field, and I wrote my thesis about software testing web applications. And I was really happy. I said, okay, this is something that I really want to do in the future. And after I graduated from university, I started to look around and to find my first job. Yes, and I was kind of lucky. I applied for, of course, several positions, several companies. And when I got the offer, I was kind of feeling I'm finally home, because first time that I met really like-minded people in the testing department back then. They had the same attitude, the same mindset, they had the same goals, and I was really happy to be there. And I was like, yes, I'm home. I can finally learn more about software testing and to explore new fields, techniques, automation, whatever's out there. It was really a really great time back then. So this was my story, basically, how I ended up into software testing. So I fell into software testing. But now the question is how you can get into software testing. And this is something I would like to talk now. So what can you do, basically? That's the main question, right? So if you are in the same situation that I was back then, you are almost done with your university degree, or you want to change the field of interest, you want to become a software tester, but you have like a totally different background in education, that's also possible, and it's also a really good thing to do, to change the field of interest. And maybe the following slides will help you to get into software testing. So the good thing here is it's completely up to you. It's completely in your hands to become a software tester in any kind of product company or service company out there, because it's completely up to you. Because there is basically no silver bullet how you get into software testing. As I said in the beginning, software testing is nothing that is getting taught in universities. Most of the people are They stumble upon software testing, being in books, conferences, talking to people, know other software testers, and then they start to educate themselves. And this is also my advice that I would give you in this video, is to start educating yourself. And here are a few points to think about. So first of all, I highly recommend to read blogs and books. Right, the same thing that I have done. I read several books out there, and there's like lots of books on the market these days around software testing. You can go on your favorite browser and search engine and type for software testing books, and you find a plethora of books that are really highly recommended. The same for blogs. I mean, there's so many great blogs out there that help you getting started with the topic, with specific testing techniques, with test automation, and so forth and so forth. I will also note down some testing blogs that I can recommend down in the description of this video that may help you to get kickstarted the testing education. Second education advice that I would like to give you is, like, if you're not on Twitter, please do so. Go and sign up on Twitter and follow the testing experts there. You can search for hashtag software testing, hashtag test automation, hashtag mobile testing, hashtag whatever's on your mind testing. And there you will see the kind of always the same people talking about this topic. And I highly recommend you to follow them, because there you can already see what's on their mind when they talk about testing, what they struggle with, what's their current challenge. And many of those experts and non-experts and software testers, they just like to exchange on there. And I highly recommend you to do so as well. Take a look at online trainings and tutorials. I mean, you're just watching a video about software testing on my channel. Thanks for coming by. But there are also much more online courses out there. And the next couple of days, there will be another video online on my channel here that is actually covering this topics of online courses and how those online courses may help you also getting more knowledge in software testing, but also maybe getting your career kickstarted. What else? Testing certificates. Ooh, it's a hot topic. I also have a video soon on my channel as well, because this is also a hot topic. It's kind of controversial topic in the software testing industry. There's like one part saying this is not needed, software testing certificates. On the other side, there are people saying, yes, this is really valuable for software testers. It helps you to actually get your foundation knowledge started, but there will be videos soon. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss the video. Engage with the community. It's similar to be on Twitter and follow experts. There are like really great software testing communities out there. I think one of the best communities out there is the Ministry of Testing. It's ministryoftesting.com. You can sign up there for free, and you have like a really nice community, lots of great and free content. You can exchange on a forum with other software testers. There's like a Slack channel where you can sign up to and talk to the software tester directly, ping them, ask them questions in specific channels. And so this is actually really helpful to actually get kickstarted and how to get more knowledge about the software testing industry. Another thing that might really helpful is to sign up on beta testing communities. For example, there's UTest. This is a platform where you can sign up and you can enter some credentials about your profile, how old, where you're living, what kind of devices you have, and so forth and so forth. And then there are companies, they basically hire crowd testers. So then you would be like a crowd tester, and they give you testing tasks. So for example, explore a new e-commerce system, or to test a specific mobile app in a specific situation on a specific device. And if you fit into that bucket, they will pick you and you get some testing tasks. And the nice thing about it, you can learn from this exercise, and at the same time you get also paid for it. So that's the first thing where you can get paid as a software tester. I can highly recommend it. Even though if you're already in software testing, you can sign up there, go there, maybe if you have some spare time on the weekend, for example, do some more testing activities to learn something, maybe on mobile testing, security or load testing, whatever is out there, and to improve your skills. What else do we have? This is also something that I usually recommend to people that are just starting in software testing, so juniors in our department or in the company, is that they should explore their favorite app or product. So they just pick a random service they use on a daily basis, and they take the app, for example, and they test it. Check out like if they can buy something, what happens if they rotate a device, for example, and these kind of things. And everything they find fishy and looks weird, behaves weird, they should note down and should reflect on their notes, because this helps you to actually start the testing thinking mindset to go, and based on that notes, you can derive more testing activities, more testing ideas that may help you to generate ideas. If you're already able to write code, so for example, you are a student, you have graduated in computer science, you may be familiar with any like programming language, scripting language out there, you could already dive into the topic of test automation, because this might also be something that is of interest to you. And there I can only highly recommend taking a look at tools such as Selenium, Cypress or Appium, because those are the tools that I have seen in the past years heavily used in the industry, in the product section, in the product development phases there as well, from software testers. And here I can highly recommend the Test Automation University. It's a free university of free courses powered by Tools. They offer a plethora of tools where you can learn test automation with various tools in various levels of the pyramid, being it unit testing, integration testing, contract testing, and so forth and so forth. But as well, there's like a similar video coming up soon, so stay tuned on that. Establish a professional network. I think this should be a no-brainer these days, right? Having a good professional network, for example, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or any other social network. It's good because there you can make first connections, professional connections to other software testers, maybe to CTOs, to recruiters. You can have like a really good profile saying, okay, I'm interested in topic X, Y, Z in testing. And there you can be found on those topics and you can make connections. And these connections may help you in the future, maybe not in the short term time, but in the future, maybe to get a new job or to get your first job in software testing. Also, something that I would highly recommend to you is to research the current job market and the industries that you would like to work in. So, for example, if you say, I really want to work in the aviation field, so go out and do some market research. What kind of companies are out there in the aviation sector, which you think that are of interest for you? Then do some research. What kind of skills do you need for this specific position in software testing in that industry? And these kind of things. Do your research, make down some notes, maybe also make some research regarding salary, because I think this is also an important topic to know up front before you start working in software testing, to not get the wrong expectations here. The next topic I would like to highlight is that you should ask for help and support, because this is also really important, especially if you would like to start in software testing. So if you're still in university, I highly recommend you to talk to a professor to get you some help in the software testing industry, in software testing topics, of potential thesis topics, or maybe sometimes professors, they already have connections to the industry. Maybe they know some companies where they're looking for software testers, and maybe you can already get the first connection there. So this is the first touch point when you're still in university. Talk to your professor if he or she can help you in getting kickstarted your testing career. Talk to recruiters. It's also one thing you could do, but it must be aware that there are also like weird people out there, weird recruiters, or naming them, they are recruiters. They're offering any kind of job that doesn't even fit to your profile, and they try to push you into something that you maybe don't want to go to, being in the industry, being at the wrong job, being at the wrong requirement that doesn't fit to your profile. Sometimes they can be really pushy because they just work on provision based, or they just want to get you signed to some contract. But on the other hand, there are also some really good recruiters out there. Filter them out and do some research on them as well, recruiting companies as well as individual and independent recruiters. They might be really helpful also to get you kickstarted. And especially if you have like a really good professional network, you may have someone in your network that know the recruiter that you can recommend you to someone. Yeah, then I think that's the starting point. Apply to a trainee or junior position, right? That's the first step. If you feel already comfortable with the skill set, try and apply with the skills that you have. Don't be shy. If you apply for a trainee or a junior position, companies can expect from you that you're like an expert already on test automation, on test techniques, but it's a starting point. And usually in these kind of positions, you meet like-minded people, and that's really helpful because those people, they like to support you, they like to onboard you, and they like to help you to become a better tester. Yeah, in the best case, you get invited to your first interview. It's also like a really stressful situation, as the most of you know. Interview situations are stressful, but it's also a good learning opportunity because that's the thing. Don't expect that you get hired in the first place, right? You can learn something from the interview process as well. Learn about the questions that the company is asking you. Learn on the feedback that you get from those companies. And if you get a rejection, please ask the company for specific feedback. It's because with that feedback you can grow and also stop doing the mistakes if you have done some mistakes in the interview process, and to learn from it. Now we're coming to the summary. What's my summary and takeaway? Yeah, this is already what I said already in the beginning. There is not the only way to get into software testing. There is no silver bullet. There are so many different ways in how to get into software testing. The majority of people that I talk to is that usually people fell into software testing. Maybe they were like working in a completely different department, let's say product support. They were product experts and there was like, they were looking for a job change and there was like an open position in the testing department and they applied. Or you are from university, or you are from a completely different industry. You have never done anything with computer, but you're good in talking to people and asking questions. So it doesn't matter where you come from. If you really would like to get into software testing, do your homework and then go and apply for it. The good thing is it's completely up to you. Never listen to people that say you can't go there because you don't have the right skill sets and so forth and so forth. It's completely up to you. Do your homework, educate yourself by reading books, blogs, watching videos, talking to people, and this is already a really good kickstart into your software testing career. Educate yourself. I repeat myself here. Yes, you should educate yourself. You should always educate yourself, not whenever you want to start something new, but also when you're in software testing already for years, there's always something that you can learn new that's coming around the corner. Grow your professional network and connect with the testing community. If you like to send me a contact request on LinkedIn or Twitter, please do so. In my channel description, you can find the links. You send me questions via email. If you have some, how to get started into software testing, I'm happy to help out here. Get help and support. I just talked like this, I said like this. Go and contact people that you know and ask for help and support. And I've never seen people in the software testing industry saying, no, I can't help you, or I don't want to share this information because this is secret and I don't want to do it. I always met like-minded, open-minded people that were really helpful and supportive. And this is something really cool about the testing industry, that I never met not so nice people. Then you should apply for the first job. But as I already said, don't expect to get hired in the first place, but then please ask for feedback, because this is helpful for you to grow and to learn from the mistakes that maybe you made in the interview process, and then to do a better job in the next interview process. And good luck with that. And that was basically the video for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, how to get into software testing. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to give me a thumbs up if you like it, or you make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done, to not miss any upcoming videos. Thank you and bye-bye.